Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we have another foundation review and this is the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy and let's get into it. Alright guys, so this is the new Nars Light Reflecting Foundation. This is another foundation that has a lot of claims to go with it. We just reviewed the new Charlotte Tilbury foundation and this one came out around the same time, although I'm just getting it now. This is supposed to be a medium buildable coverage, natural finish with breathable all-day wear, vegan formula, powered by advanced skincare ingredients, suitable for most skin types including sensitive skin, and this is also supposed to be friendly for acne-prone skin. So this foundation retails for $49 US, 65 Canadian. That is a steep price tag. So I also got the shade Light 2 Mont Blanc, so I believe that's like a fair with neutral undertones, and this also describes itself as an advanced makeup skincare hybrid foundation with a natural finish that quickly blurs and smooths while improving skin's clarity over time, much like that Charlotte Tilbury foundation. So I'm curious, I'm very curious. Let's open up this box. And this also claims to be powered by 70% skincare ingredients for improved clarity over time. There is also a light reflecting complex for enhanced luminosity. And it looks like there's also been some clinical trials of this one in a 6-week clinical study of 31 women. They said it improved the appearance of skin clarity over time. So that's very interesting. And the foundation just comes in this soft touch matte black box like a lot of Nars products. Here is the jar itself. So this looks to be shorter than the Nars Advanced Radiance bottle. And you do get 1 fluid ounce or 30 milliliters of product. It does come in a glass bottle with a pump, so that is definitely a favorite of mine. Okay, and I just pumped out a little bit of the product. The shade looks like it's going to be perfect. I guess the shade based on a foundation sample I had from Nars last year, and Mont Blanc was the perfect shade. Okay, so I like to apply new foundations without a primer. I just like to go in just over my skincare. It's been a little bit, so my skincare is definitely sunk in by now, but I am going to do one side of my face with a sponge. I'll do the other with a brush, and we'll compare the two sides. Alright, so I'm just going to take a little bit on my palette as I do. So it's definitely a more liquidy type of foundation. It's not like the Charlotte Tilbury that I found was kind of thick. I think I forgot to show you guys on that one, but it was definitely a more thicker formula. So if I would put it on my palette, it was definitely thicker. And the shade match literally appears perfect. Yeah, that shade match is absolutely perfect. Very happy with my shade match. My sponge definitely eats the product though, so I do need to go in with another pump. I find one pump doesn't actually get a ton of product, but that's probably a good thing. That way you're wasting less. I'm really liking the way that this is kind of just melting into the skin. It's making everything look very even. I'm not getting a ton of coverage, so it's definitely a more medium. It's definitely a more medium coverage. I'm not sure how buildable it is, but let's do the other side with a brush. So far, I really do like the way it looks on my skin. It's looking very natural, very skin-like. I'm very pleased with that so far. Okay, let's go on the inside with the brush, just taking my Merit foundation brush. This is just my very favorite foundation brush I've ever used. Just doing light stippling motions, just kind of pushing it into the skin. Okay, so even with the brush, it does look very natural. I did notice I was getting a little bit of pilling when I went in with the brush, which is kind of unusual, but I did not experience that on the side with the sponge. So I might just go back in with my sponge just to touch up certain areas. And I will notice I'm just going especially over my dry patch right around my nose. And it is clinging quite a bit in there. I mean, a lot of foundations do, so that's not losing major points, but that is just something to note if you have really dry skin. I don't know what to do about this area. I don't know why it's so dry. So I actually just went in and tried to build up that coverage, and I just really pushed the product into my skin with the damp sponge, and it looks a lot better. It doesn't look like it clung a lot, so that could have been what I needed to do. Just gonna build up a little bit more on my chin. I always say this, I have a really hard time getting my chin to accept product. So far the best way for me to apply this foundation is with a sponge. That's my favorite way to apply this so far. Like I said, the brush definitely caused a little bit of pilling, which I really find very strange. Normally, I only get pilling if the foundation doesn't like a certain primer. Like I discovered the Charlotte Tilbury foundation does not like the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream underneath. Not on my skin, it does not like that. But typically that's the only time I get pilling, but it's been a minute since I've done my skincare, so I'm not sure why I was getting that. So this dry patch is looking a lot better now. At first it looked pretty rough, and then again I just went in and really pushed the product into the skin with my damp sponge, and it actually looks quite nice now. Even in the areas I've built it up, the foundation still looks very natural, very skin-like. Maybe I'll just try to build up a little bit over here as well. I'm really liking the finish of this on my skin, and I will say this is also super lightweight. Like, this does not feel at all heavy on my skin. It doesn't feel at all heavy. So really liking that so far. And it's not even as tacky as a lot of other foundations. And that's something that is kind of important to me. I really hate tacky foundations, so I'm really glad to see that this one is not like that. Okay, let me finish up the rest of my makeup really quickly and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so definitely going for a very light, fresh kind of look today, but so far really enjoying the look of this foundation. So I'm going to be wearing this. It's currently 10:56 in the morning. I will probably wear this until about 9:30. So I will check in with you guys. I'll try to check in around midday and then at the end of the night, of course. I really like this foundation so far. I like the look of it, and I think I forgot to mention this has a 24-month shelf life, which I think is longer than a lot of other foundations in my collection. A lot of the other foundations in my collection are only 12 months, so I also found that very interesting. But overall, I really like the way my skin looks. This has the most skin-like finish. I'm really enjoying it. I did get a great shade match, so if you're a similar skin tone to me, you might really like this. Yeah, overall, I'm really happy. The other makeup I used today is just for my Project Pan, except for the mascara, which is the Thrive Cosmetics. But yeah, overall, I am really happy with this. My skin looks good. It feels good. This feels very comfortable. I don't feel like I have makeup on. It's very lightweight. Definitely buildable, but not to a full coverage by any means. However, I will say when I did try to build this foundation, it didn't get cakey. It didn't start to look heavy. It looks really nice. I'm very impressed with how skin-like this foundation is looking. I did go in with a little bit of my Dior Powder No Powder just to powder like my cheeks and where I tend to rest my hands when I'm working. It is a work day, so I am going to be on my computer a lot, and I am a chronic face toucher. So yeah, that is all I have to say for now. So far, super happy, but I will see you guys in a little bit with an update. Hey guys, so we are now at the midway point of our wear test. The makeup has been on for about 5 hours now. It's approaching 4 o'clock and I've been wearing this since 11. The makeup still looks so good. it hasn't rubbed off anywhere. It just looks settled. It still looks just like skin. It's definitely, you know, a lighter coverage option, but because of that, when it does start to wear down, it's not as obvious. I really, really like this so far. Again, it feels like I'm not wearing any makeup at all. I'm still really enjoying it. It's so lightweight. It's doing a good job holding on to my other makeup as well, my powders. And whenever I've looked in the mirror today, I've definitely just caught a glimpse of my skin, and it's got the prettiest kind of luminosity to it. It just looks so super, super healthy and hydrated. It looks like I used a really great moisturizer. So all very positive things so far. I'm really, really enjoying the way this looks on my skin. I am really happy with this so far. So I will see you guys in a few hours with my final thoughts, but so far this is going very, very well. Hey guys, so we are now at the end of the day. We are actually approaching the 11-hour mark. On final check-in, I can see that I have a little bit of dryness right around here. My dry spot right here is quite prominent, but everything else still looks really, really nice. Overall, I think this is a really, really good foundation. The one thing I would do differently would be to probably, you know, do my primer or prep step in between, and I really think that would have gotten that would have eliminated any of the dry spots. That would have kept them looking healthy, I think. And it really didn't enhance my pores at all, which is really great. I found while it is a more liquidy foundation, it just blended so beautifully onto the skin. And again, the shade Mont Blanc is absolutely perfect for me. If you're near my skin tone, this shade could not be better. I really enjoyed applying this one. For me, it was better with a sponge. For whatever reason, I found the brush was causing it to pill up a little bit. So I would definitely recommend with the sponge because it worked perfectly that way. And again, we're approaching 11.5 hours and it's wearing off very naturally. Like, my skin still looks pretty even. I still look pretty healthy. I've certainly lost the glow, but my skin still looks really good. So I'm really, really, really excited to keep playing with this. So actually, I think what we're gonna do is, because I did have that dryness from not priming or anything like that, I think what we'll do is a 2-day wear test. I will see you guys back here tomorrow. I'll prep the skin and do everything I would typically do in a foundation routine to see how it holds up that way as well. So I will see you guys back here tomorrow for day 2. Good morning, you guys. I am back for day 2 of our 2-day wear test on the Nars foundation. So at the end of yesterday, I believe we almost hit the 11-hour mark, and I was so tired last night. As I was looking at the situation, I figured, you know, I would really be interested in doing a second day because I noticed that I didn't do my normal prep steps that I normally do, and you know, I thought it would be super helpful to actually see how everything wears both without primer, just on its own, how the product performs on its own, but as well as how it performs when I do all of my usual steps. So I just finished my skincare. The only thing I didn't do was moisturizer because I wanted to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, because that's the one thing I noticed yesterday was that my dry spots, though they looked fine initially, by the end of the day they were pretty well expired and they were looking pretty dry. So I'm just gonna really, really melt that product in this morning and see if it makes a difference. Otherwise, the foundation wore really well yesterday. I was very impressed as I was, you know, catching glimpses of myself in the mirror throughout the day. I kept being more and more impressed by how my skin looked. I just had this radiance to my skin that looked really, really good. I just looked super hydrated and super healthy. All right, so now I'm all hydrated. I just took 2 pumps on my palette, and I'm just gonna go all over with the sponge today because I found yesterday that was the best That was how I liked it best. I found the brush made the product pill just a little bit, and I quite frankly have no patience for when my foundation decides to pill up. And again today, the foundation is applying super beautiful. Such a nice medium coverage. It blends super quickly too. Like, I find it's taking me no time to get my full face done, which for those of you who are on the go, who just want to get their makeup done quickly in the morning and out the door, I think that's really, really important. You know, I've certainly been there. It's a really different world when you work from home full time, because it's like you go from the hustle and bustle and constantly, you know, wake up super early, get your makeup done super early, you know, such a basic routine, to working from home and having time to sit there and do a full face if you want to. Such an interesting difference. And I think both ways have their pros and cons for sure. Okay, so I'm noticing a little bit of pilling around this area when I tried to build up the product. I think that has to do with the magic cream. I should have probably given it a bit more time, but that's definitely user error. That's not really the foundation. It's just because it's a hydrating foundation over top of a super thick moisturizer. However, I do need to use a super thick moisturizer because it is January 74th and I have very dry skin, so it's super, super cold out this week. Okay, yeah, so I either wouldn't use such a thick moisturizer, or I would just definitely give it a little bit more time to kind of set down. That was my fault. Just build a little bit of coverage. My skin's still freaking out a little bit, but it just blends so nicely. That shade match is honestly could not have been better, in my opinion. I'm so happy with that shade match. Okay, let me pop off camera, finish up my makeup, and then I'll come back and we will start our wear test. Alright guys, so the rest of the makeup is on, and I really, really like my makeup today. I think I'm having a great makeup day. My skin looks so, so good, so healthy. Again, I'm seeing some of my breakouts popping through and stuff like that, but again, it's a medium coverage foundation. I'm not gonna get that full coverage. That's okay. It still feels so lightweight and healthy on the skin, but just kind of perfects everything, evens everything out, and I really like how this looks. I will say, when I did powder down my skin today, I definitely lost a little bit of the luminosity, but that's okay because my skin still looks really, really good. This really hasn't settled into any dry patches at all today. My forehead looks good. Around my nose looks really good. So I'm really, really happy so far. I just love the way this product sinks into the skin and just looks just like skin. I absolutely am in love with that. So I'm definitely excited to wear this throughout the day, see how it wears when I do everything I would normally do, like with my prep steps and powder and setting spray. I know it's definitely going to hold up better than yesterday, but I mean, yesterday it still held up really good, and I didn't prime, I didn't set, you know, I barely powdered, so today I am really excited to see how this wears. So I will check in with you guys probably again in the middle of the day. If not, I will definitely see you at the end of the day for a wear test. It is currently 8 o'clock in the morning, so so we're gonna have a really full day today. So I will see you guys in a little bit. Okay guys, so it is the end of the day. I did not get a chance to check in this afternoon, but we have reached the end of our wear test for day 2. And we did reach 12 hours. The makeup is looking fabulous. So if you'll recall, yesterday I did not do a primer and I didn't do a setting spray. I just wanted to see how the foundation would work out on its own. And then I decided to do a 2-day wear test, because that way today I could test out how the foundation works when I do all of my typical steps, and then compare the two. So today is definitely better. Those dry spots that I was talking about, that, you know, the foundation was kind of starting to emphasize at the end of the day yesterday, they are not showing today. My skin looks super healthy, super hydrated still. It still looks like skin. The rest of my makeup is still holding on as well. I am so happy with this foundation. I will say I did lose some of the luminosity when I did use the powder, but the foundation still absolutely looked like skin. I can't get over how natural the coverage of this foundation is and how good I feel wearing it. So yesterday we made 11 hours and the foundation looked really good. It held on pretty good throughout the day, but it had definitely started to wear down and it was clinging to dry patches, but that was with no primer setting spray. Today I used the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream and I used the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray to set everything down, and it's still looking really, really good. I do have a couple breakouts that are popping out a little bit, but that doesn't bother me. This foundation, it's not even really showing wear and tear because it looks so skin-like. I don't even know if I can fully explain how much I like this. I also love how well it blended. It was so quick to get my full face done. It just blended out so quickly, so well. And in part, I imagine that's in part because of how good the foundation or how good the shade match was, but it just blended out so quickly. It didn't give me any trouble. Today it did give me a little bit of trouble because I used the Magic Cream and I think it was two very hydrating products together, and I probably should have either given the Magic Cream a little bit more time to settle in, or I should have just used a different prep, but that's okay. I love this. This Nars Light Reflecting Advanced Skincare Foundation is getting a huge, huge, huge thumbs up from me. I was not expecting to like this as much as I do. Obviously, it applied super easy. I found I liked it more with the sponge, but it did go on super easy. It blended out super fast, and the coverage is beautiful. It's like a beautiful medium coverage. It doesn't look like makeup. It just looks like skin. It just makes you look even and flawless and perfected while still showing, you know, you will want to go in with a full coverage concealer if you want to hide some breakouts or something like that, but you don't really need to. This just looks so beautiful, and again, because I did prep the way that I normally would, it's not even clinging to the dry patches, and it hasn't even settled into smile lines, which is huge for me because I am a very, very expressive person. So yeah, guys, I don't know, I'm loving it. I really, really love this foundation. This foundation is getting a 10 out of 10 for me. I will, of course, update you at the end of the month in a speed reviews, but this foundation is definitely getting a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I definitely like it more than some other foundations that you know I like a lot. So this one is a 10 out of 10. It's only January and I am losing my mind over that foundation. Obviously, I'm going to have to wear it for quite a while, for, you know, quite a period of time before I know if there's actually these skincare benefits, but overall, in a 2-day wear test, this foundation held up incredibly well, and with all of my usual steps, it held up even better. I'm so happy. I absolutely 10 out of 10 recommend this foundation. I could not give this a higher accolade if I wanted to. So absolutely, this foundation is a win. I'm so pleased, and I'm glad I did a 2-day wear test to kind of test this out. Let me know in the comments down below, do you guys prefer like a 2-day wear test as opposed to just a single day wear test? Let me know in the comments down below. I just thought I would do something different. But let me know down below what is most helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you guys so, so much. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. And that is it for me today. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!